Hello, pocket knife community, knife lovers, knife enthusiasts, interested viewers. Folder here. Inside this box is a Benchmade mini crooked river. And I've always wanted a Benchmade mini crooked river. Or the crooked river. Mini or the crooked river. I always wanted one. Never owned one. Never held one. And yeah. Well, after today, I will still want a Benchmade mini crooked river. So you might be asking, well, don't you have one right there? No, this is not mine. This is a loaner. This is the first time since I've had my channel that I've ever reviewed a knife loaned to me by someone else. This is not my property. So excited. This knife is owned by a buddy of mine, and he gave it to me to take a look at, to put on my channel. I did an eye candy video with it, and now I'm doing a review. So let's just get into it. It's part of the Hunt series of Benchmade. This isn't really an unboxing. I just, not my property, so I kind of keep it in the box how I got it. If you're not familiar with the Benchmade, they have a lock called the Access Lock. That's what that stands for. And that's Benchmade's crossbar lock. That is now out of patent. They did have a patent on it when this came out, when this knife was out in 2017. The Crooked River was in 2016. The mini Crooked River came out in 2017. And that's this locking mechanism here. It's basically a crossbar lock that rides underneath this steel structure, and it's wrapped around on either side by these two springs called omega springs, and they offer the tension for the bar and sort of the detent for the blade also. Very good locking mechanism, very effective, gets the job done, very reliable. In the event an omega spring breaks, which of course a spring could break, it's not impossible. From what I understand, Benchmade has excellent warranty. They'll either send it to you, and in some cases you can send them the knife and they'll repair it. I don't know if that still stands because of the age of these knives now, but maybe it does. Anybody know? Add in the comments. You're more than welcome. Always welcome. So yeah, so that's it. That's what we got here. And first impressions, Benchmade is just a solid company. They always put out a good product. Let's just get into it. So from a visual, we are looking at just shy of an 8-inch knife, because I can tell because those boxes are 1 inch. Let's just go to the website and we'll look at it from there. Yeah. Okay, so this knife is 7.8 inches. The blade is 3.4. The blade thickness is 114 thousandth thickness. So it's a pretty, pretty thin stock, pretty nice slicing stock. Closed is 4.5 inches, and the mechanism is called the Access Lock, like I said. The blade is a clip point style blade, contoured stabilized wood, so this isn't packer wood, I guess. And aluminum bolsters and stainless steel liners. Okay. I already see something that I'm going to complain about, but that's why I'm doing the review. Let's keep going. The pocket clip is a split arrow clip, style clip, and it's black, and the finish is black oxide. Satin finish blade. Yeah. Completely ambidextrous operation. Let's do a couple of comparisons. Comparing it first to the most iconic knife in the history of the world, the Spyderco Paramilitary 2, which we know the dimensions of the Paramilitary 2, which is 8.03 inches, And this being 7.8, obviously smaller, and it does look smaller in the image. We can also bring the PM3 under it, so we can see where this knife sits. We'll just put the tips at the line. It sits in between the PM2 and the PM3, but closer really to the PM2. Yep. A couple more comparisons. The Giant Mouse Tribeca, mid-range knife. So as you can see, the mini doesn't look so mini next to the Tribeca. It's bigger than the Tribeca. And for giggles, the American Lawman. American Lawman is an 8-inch knife. So as you can see, just short of 8 inches. So you can see it's pretty much the exact length as an American Lawman. Like visually, they're the same. An American Lawman is just a lot taller blade. That broadsword blade. Okay, so yeah, that's the rundown on this. So let's just take a look at it. Like I said, it's a stone finish on this clip point blade. It's got 2 thumb studs here. Nice, nice. I was kind of shocked to find out that it has aluminum bolsters. When I first saw this, I thought this was titanium, and but no, they are aluminum. The transitions from the aluminum bolsters to the stabilized wood on the show side is not seamless. On the clip side is more seamless. So I can feel a little rise in that transition. Stainless steel liners. It's got this pocket clip. It's an arrow, split arrow clip, and it's black oxide. So that's a little, it's a steel clip with black oxide coating. You know, it's not bluing, it's not Cerakote, it's not anodized, it's not a DLC, PVD. You know, it's not one of the modern day coatings. Yeah. And it has a G10 backspacer, which has always had mixed emotions with the G10. Seems like nobody's really neutral in it. Some people like it, some people do not. I actually like it. The liners are also weight saving. I can see the reliefs, the cutout reliefs inside the liner. I don't know if my camera's focusing right now, is it? I know my lighting is not great today for some reason. And the reason is you don't have enough lights up. How about that? Yeah, so there's cutout reliefs inside the liners for weight saving. Yeah, so you know, this is a very competent knife. T6s on the pocket clip. T6s on the body screws also. And I would imagine, what is this here? It's gonna be, main pivot is 10, so T6s and 10. I mean, you know, listen, T8s all the way around would be great. The 10 is bigger, is probably almost better with these screws, so the 10 is nice. 6s are a little undesirable, you know, but you know, it's not a huge knife, so it is what it is. So yeah, so action is very nice, very positive. That, wow, look at that stop pin. It's huge. It's a really big stop pin for a knife this size. But it is almost an 8-inch knife. It's just not thick. It's very streamlined. Yeah, I like it. After seeing it and handling it and getting a good look at it, do I still want one? Yeah, I do. That's the good. So let's go with the bad. Let's talk about anything that's bad. So what's bad is this. In 2017, these materials are fine. 2024, S30V, which is an excellent steel, but it is at the entry level of the upper steels. It's not, it's not S110V. It's not Magna Cut. It's not Cruair. It's S30V. Which, I'm not, you can't say anything bad about S30V, really. Really, it's just such a great steel, but it is not at the top of the food chain. Aluminum bolsters instead of titanium. This contoured wood, contoured stabilized instead of being pack of wood. Steel liners instead of being titanium. You might be saying, well, what's the big deal? Well, the big deal is the $300 price tag. That's the big deal. This knife in 2017 for $300, I don't know what it cost in 2017. What I'm looking at on the website right now, it costs about $300. Do they still go for $300? I guess so. I guess they do. Let me just take a look at something here. Yeah, they're still they're still going for in that area. I see well, no, I see some are cheaper. Okay, so you can get some cheaper than $300. I see one on the secondary market but brand new for $225, and then the other ones are around the high twos. So yeah, so that's about right. I mean, under $2 would be even more ideal. If I heard someone paid $300 for this, or if you paid $300 for this, you didn't get robbed, because it's a Benchmade. It is an excellently made knife, very well put together, very good. But the problem is, these materials are a little dated. And like I said, they need to be upgraded. If you compare it to the PM2, which has been around for a very long time also, Spyderco, you could say, well, Spyderco hasn't updated the PM2. Right, but the PM2 is not $300, number one. Number two, the PM2 Spyderco has a plethora of different steels that this comes in. I don't think this knife comes in any other steel. I could be wrong, but S90, S30. I do see a custom one here that is an S90 for $350. Carbon fiber S90. Yeah, so, listen, it's overpriced on this site anyway. But at any rate, Spyderco doesn't have to really do as much as Benchmade because the aftermarket for the PM2 is insane. It's Captain Insano. You know who Captain Insano is? Yeah, well, that's what the aftermarket is for the PM2. Because you can get anything you want for this knife in the aftermarket. You can change this thing up so many different ways. It's ridiculous. A plethora. The aftermarket does not exist for this in the same way. So cheaper than $300. And to the credit, this is cheaper than $300 also. You can get it cheaper than $300. But at the costing price for $300, this is definitely not worth that. Definitely not worth that today. And it's not worth it, not because of the build quality or because of what it is, but just because of the raw materials that it comes in. I would like to see this updated. Such a nice knife. I would like to see this in, it does come in S90. I see a custom that is an S90. So that's nice. So 270, yeah. Yep. Anyway, all right. So yeah, that's it. That's all I got, man. It's the the Hunt Series box here, Benchmade Mini Crooked River. All right. Thanks.